Okay, let's start, shall we? So let's just settle into our meditation posture. Have you done this practice before?
I did last week. Well, yeah, I've been
Oh,
doing it.
oh, you have. Okay, you did it with me last week.
Hmm.
Okay, sorry. There was probably about how many, 14 or something last week, so I might not have noticed you. My apologies. All right. Okay. So let's just settle into our meditation posture. Feet, if you're sitting on a chair and your feet are on the floor, try and make sure they're flat on the floor in a parallel position, otherwise in a nice, comfortable cross-legged position. And maybe you can have a cushion or something, just slightly raise your coccyx so your sacrum is straight and not tipped back. Much more comfortable for the back. And shoulders over the hips. Hands in the meditation mudra. And with this tradition, it's the right hand in the left, nestled in the left with the thumbs touching. All right, so now just imagine from the base of the spine, the coccyx running up through through your body, maybe alongside the spine, is a string of light pearls. And you can imagine that somebody is standing above you or behind you very gently, pulling this string. And so as that happens, just visualize, imagine yourself just lengthening, uncrinkling all those muscles, giving some space in between your vertebrae. Head slightly tip forward, eyes down, tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth. So let's just go to the crown of the head and just relax the scalp. And just notice as you do that how much you're able to let go in the muscles in the face. Relax your forehead, temples, and the muscles in the back of the eye socket. Your nose, relax your cheeks, jaw, relax your ears, your mouth, and chin. And let's just go to the back of the head and relax the scalp, the back of the head, the neck, and just relax the shoulders. And just let your belly hang out. Relax your chest, arms, hands, fingers, legs, and feet, and your toes. And bring the mind to the breath. Just breathing in and breathing out. And just notice as you breathe in the sensation of the cool air just flowing on out through the outside of the nostrils. You might notice this sensation at the base of the nose, or depends on the shape of your nose. And as you breathe out, the air is slightly warmer. And just bring the mind to the breath. It's just breathing in and breathing out. I just think we're going to do this Vajrasattva practice here this evening together, so we can continue to work on our mind, pull out all those karmic seeds before they ripen into suffering. And so we can have a fairly obstacle-free life, so we can continue to work on our practice, be of benefit to others. It's really quite difficult to be of benefit when you're constantly having to face and deal with the obstacles. It makes life kind of hard. So we purify so that we can get rid of all these obstacles, become enlightened for others. So So again, reminding ourselves there is no negativity that cannot be purified. This is basically a psychological process that we're doing this evening. So we create negativity with our mind, and so we can change it by creating positivity with our mind. So in this practice, we're doing this practice in the context of the 4 opponent powers. And the first of these is the power of regret. So we sincerely regret from the depths of our heart anything we have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, in all our past lives. And so we can think of specific actions of the body and your speech. And then for the things that we can't necessarily remember, just regret, just generally. And just reminding ourselves, this is, as I said just a minute ago, just based on the logic of karma. We experience everything in our life due to our past actions. So having harmed others, we will necessarily experience suffering sometime down the future. And so we have enough to deal with, we don't want any more. So we want to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering. So I think I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, broken my vows. And so if you have the Pradamoksha, Bodhicitta, or Tantric, Bodhisattva, or Tantric vows, and you've broken them or you don't necessarily remember what they are, just regret. Try not to break these again. So who can I turn to? What can I do about this? What can I do to fix all this? So this is where the second opponent powers is the power of reliance. So here we rely upon, we turn to for help. We turn to the Buddha or the doctor who has the methods that we can use to purify our negative karma. And we're not asking for forgiveness here. We purify ourselves by relying upon his methods. So you can also imagine that if you have a lama, a guru, a trusted mentor, a spiritual teacher, you can imagine that this is the mind of your teacher manifesting in this form of Buddha Vajrasattva for your benefit. So you can imagine Guru Vajrasattva is above the crown of your head, about 2 inches above the crown of your head, and he is made of this brilliant, radiant, blissful white light, translucent, almost like a hologram. He's sitting cross-legged on a white lotus. His face is just radiant and beautiful. His eye has his lotus-like eyes. They're peaceful and full of love and compassion for you. And at the same time, he's you can imagine he's looking at you, even though he's above the crown of your head. He's looking at you and all sentient beings simultaneously with this very, very non-judgmental mind. Just accepts you for who you are. He has this sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom. The right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And they're being crossed, represents the union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So here's this one little section on compassion. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings. So in this case, the very beings we have harmed and who've harmed us. So think in particular of people you've harmed recently and in the past. And then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then, and this is a little bit more difficult, you think of people who have harmed you. You have compassion for them because they will suffer in the future for the harm that they've caused you. And so make a strong aspiration to do this purification of this practice of purification for the sake of all these sentient beings, and I must purify for their sake. So now we come to the third opponent power, the power of the remedy. And so this is the actual medicine, doing the practice. So the first one is purification of the body. So you visualize Guru Vajrasattva very compassionately sending this powerful white nectar coming out of from his heart. So it arcs around, it enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. So you can imagine it keeps flowing into you and forces out of your lower part of your body, the lower orifices, all the harm you have ever done to any living being with your body in the form of this inky liquid. And it pours out of you, it disappears into space, not one atom left. So we do this as we recite the mantra. Mary Camille, have you got, oh, thank you. All right. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinopatita Dino Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinopatita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinopatita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinopatita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinopatita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinopatita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinopatita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. So be delighted that all the harm that you have ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified. And think there's nothing that you could ever do to harm another sentient being and only be of benefit to others with your body from now on. So next is the purification of the speech. So again, Guru Vajrasattva very happily sending this powerful nectar from his heart chakra, arcing around and entering your crown, filling your entire body, except this time it forces up to the top of your body all the negativities of your speech. And it overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So imagine all the gossip, the harsh speech, useless speech, and lying and talking badly about others behind their back. And all this is purified by this powerful nectar, filling you, disappearing into space. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sava Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Matsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa, Sutokaya Mebawa, Supokaya Mebawa, Anarakta Mebawa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sutame, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa, Sutokaya Mebawa, Supokaya Mebawa, Anarakta Mebawa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa, Sutokaya Mebawa, Supokaya Mebawa, Anarakta Mebawa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa, Sutokaya Mebawa, Supokaya Mebawa, Anarakta Mebawa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Saba Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa, Sutokaya Mebawa, Supokaya Mebawa, Anarakta Mebawa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa, Sutokaya Mebawa, Supokaya Mebawa, Anarakta Mebawa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. So again, now feel so happy that your speech is completely purified, and imagine that it's not possible to do anything other than be of benefit with your speech. So the next is the purification of the mind. So Guru Vajrasattva very compassionately sending powerful beams of light this time from his heart chakra, and this light arcs around and enters your crown chakra and fills your entire being. And just as LAMA YESHE says, as soon as you walk into a dark room, switch on a light, the darkness is dispelled. It's the same thing here. As soon as the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, all the negativities and the delusions, the darkness in your mind, the attachment and the neediness, anxiety, the anger, violence, depression and resentment and jealousy and bitterness, all instantly dispelled, not one atom left. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa, Sutokaya Mebawa, Supokaya Mebawa, Anarakta Mebawa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sava Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa, Sutokaya Mebawa, Supokaya Mebawa, Anarakta Mebawa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa, Sutokaya Mebawa, Supokaya Mebawa, Anarakta Mebawa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawa siddhi mebi yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam guruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawa siddhi mebi yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawa siddhi mebi yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawa siddhi mebi yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe. So again, be delighted that all the darkness, the delusions, which are the source of your own suffering, the cause of why we harm others with our body and speech, are completely purified, totally gone, finished. And think there is no space in your heart now for anything but love and kindness, forgiveness and wisdom, and bliss and compassion. So next, and just finally with this mantra, we purify even the subtle imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. So again, this time Guru Vajrasattva sends light and nectar. And so you can either do the previous 3 visualizations simultaneously, one after the other, or just imagine light and nectar coming as we recite. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawa siddhi mebi yata sawa kama sutame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawa siddhi mebi yata sawa kama sutame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawa siddhi mebi yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawa siddhi mebi yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawa siddhi mebi yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawa siddhi mebi yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawa siddhi mebi yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe. Now feel completely purified. Not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to omniscience have been removed. So next, the fourth and the final of the 4 opponent powers is a power of resolve. So it's really crucial, this determination not to harm again with our body and speech and our mind. And without this determination, we're going to keep doing the same old thing over and over again. We're just going to keep following the same patterns, going down the same track, and deepening the grooves. So this aspiration not to harm again is like a beacon that guides our body and speech and mind in different and more positive directions. So if you think of something that you'd like to work on, maybe it's between you and another person, and perhaps you can only commit to this, not doing this thing for maybe 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, half a day while you're asleep at night. But just try not to give yourself something that's going to be too ambitious, because we tend to sort of break those things. Let's just do something that's manageable, that's doable, and then we can build up from there. Something to do between today and tomorrow. Just imagine now Guru Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wants to merge with our mind, melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. Just think, my Guru's body, speech and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech and mind, my own body, speech and mind, the same thing. LAMA YESHE called this union oneness. Now, LAMA YESHE recommends to meditate on the emptiness of the 3 circles. In emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative action. There is no action of creating negative karma. There is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, just place your mind there for a while. So you could think of all phenomena as empty, not existing from their own side. You can think of things don't appear to us the way we think they do. Things don't exist the way we think they do. So now we'll just very quickly, Camille, I'm sorry. How wonderful it would be if all sentient beings were to abide in equanimity, free from the closeness of attachment and the distance of hatred. May they abide in equanimity. I myself will cause them to abide in equanimity. Please, Guru Deity, bless me to be able to do this. How wonderful it would be if all sentient beings were to achieve Buddhahood. May they achieve Buddhahood. I myself will cause them to achieve Buddhahood. Please, Guru Deity, bless me to be able to do this. How wonderful it would be if all sentient beings were free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they be free from suffering and its causes. I myself will cause them to be free from suffering and its causes. Please, Guru Deity, bless me to be able to do this. And how wonderful it would be if all sentient beings were never separated from the happiness of higher rebirth and liberation. May they never be separated from these. I myself will cause them never to be separated from these. Please, Guru Deity, bless me to be able to do this. So we'll just do one verse here. As a result of the 3 times merits of myself and others, may bodhicitta, from which the happiness of all sentient beings comes, be generated in the minds of self and other sentient beings without delay, even for 1 second, and that which has been generated may increase. And for His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso, I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. For Lama Zopa Rinpoche, you who uphold the subduer's moral way, who serves as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Manjana's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers, honoring the 3 jewels, Savior, for myself and others, your disciples, please, please live long. And for Ursula. Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us and intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please, please live long. Wow, we did it. Oh, 2 minutes over. Sorry. We started 1 minute late though.
Right.